We're going to take a quick look at a keyboard case for the iPad Pro. This is the Slim Combo by Logitech. This particular one is made for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and it works with both the first and second generation iPad Pro tablets. So this is the keyboard section of the case. As you can see, it's a real keyboard. It's physical buttons. The keyboard gets power from the iPad itself via the smart connector. It's not Bluetooth. It doesn't need its own power supply. It's all a direct connection right here. So this keyboard, like many of the other third-party keyboards for the iPad Pro, has a row of function keys here at the top. Here you got a key to lock the iPad and a key for a home button. This keyboard is backlit, so here you have controls for the backlit keyboard right here. You also have controls for the brightness of the display, volume, and music controls, and you have a button for spotlight search. Other than the function keys down here, it's your typical keyboard. Same type of keys of a typical laptop nowadays. Arrow keys down here, command key, and you got your control and your option keys. So let's get this thing loaded up on the iPad, see how it works. Alright, so the way this works is the iPad just snaps right in. Take the keyboard, do your best to line it up, and let the magnets do their thing. And once it snaps into place, you're good to go. So one of the things about this case is you got to remember what side to flip it onto. So for instance, if I'm going to open it on this side, oops, wait a minute, can't do that. So you got to remember, open it with the plastic side up. You got this hinge back here. This hinge controls the view angle for the screen when you open it up. So you're going to open it up like that, then you just pop this open. This case has magnets built right into the case itself. So it works with the whole magnetic wake and sleep feature that the iPads are known for. So for instance right here, we close it, iPad goes to sleep, open it up, iPad wakes up. And you'll notice that even if I misalign the screen, the case slowly but surely does align itself for the most part. So now we have our iPad here in a laptop form factor. That's not to say that this is going to be the way you use your iPad all the time, but there are definitely times when you really want a keyboard, especially when you're typing along paper, taking notes, whatever. So for instance, let's go into Pages. Go ahead and type my review right here. Whoops. And what's cool here is you can do the whole Shift Select deal, or Command A, select all, or maybe I just want to take that, I want to get rid of it. Command X cuts it out. Oh wait, maybe I want to put it back in. Command V puts it back in. So for the most part, a lot of the functionality that you have in a MacBook keyboard has been brought over here to the iPad Pro's keyboard. So for instance, on an Apple laptop, Command Tab switches your applications. Here on an iPad Pro, does the same exact thing. So as I mentioned before, the Apple Smart keyboards, they don't have the function keys here at the top. For the most part, I like the function keys. Pretty useful. Maybe I'm here in Twitter, and then I realize I need to look up something. I can just hit my search button here, type in Milton Friedman quotes, maybe. Search web. Automatically will do a Google search for me. Brings me to some of his quotes. Or maybe, maybe I'm doing some research on Milton Friedman and I want some music playing in the background, but I don't want to go away from this webpage. I just hit the play button. And what's nice about the function keys is I have a home screen button here, so I can do that. Or maybe I want to get to another app quick and I don't want to multitask it. I want to actually go to it, so I can double tap the home key, just as you would on a iPhone, go directly to the program. And you'll find that when you get a keyboard for your iPad Pro, you might start using it a lot more as your primary system. I have a newer MacBook Pro. Ever since I got this iPad Pro and paired it with this keyboard case, I found myself to be using this a lot more, at least for day-to-day usage. Obviously, if I'm doing content creation, I'm still going to be using my MacBook Pro a little bit more. It's got the full collection of Adobe, whereas here you just get the iPad Pro apps for Adobe, which are not horrible, but they don't compare to the desktop apps yet. Something else about this case, it's got storage for your Apple Pencil. Just toss it right here, good to go. You got access to your sleep button, and you got volume controls right here. So one of the main things with these keyboard cases is if you want to just use it as an iPad, you got to get rid of the keyboard cover. It's kind of awkward, cool. And now what? You can loop it back here, but then the connector comes off, so you might as well just ditch the keyboard. Just use it as you would a normal iPad Pro. There's still a decent amount of protection without the keyboard cover that, I'd feel confident at least walking around with this. I definitely wouldn't want to drop it though. So overall, it's a pretty nice case, about $149, so not too bad. Definitely cheaper than the Apple Smart Keyboard and much, much better than the Apple Smart Keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and put the case back together. So this case has one major flaw. The plastic is kind of flimsy, and as a result, if you press it in just the right spot, you'll get music playing while you're walking around. Maybe it's in your bag. It doesn't happen all the time, and sometimes it's harder to make it happen. Well, my workaround for that is I just turn the volume off. Even if the music's playing, I don't hear it. So it might actually be playing a song right now. I don't know, the volume's all the way off, so I don't hear it. I don't care. Let's see. So for instance, so see the music here is playing, but because my volume is off, good deal, I don't hear it. So it's not the biggest deal. It is kind of annoying. You would expect to be able to just lug this thing around and not have to worry about something like that. With that workaround, it's workable. So overall, I like this case. I read the reviews about that whole plastic playing the music thing, and at first I thought I was going to return this, but then I realized I could just mute it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to keep this case. The form factor is not too bad. For the most part, this is very, very manageable. It's got a spot for the Apple Pencil. It doesn't add too much weight, so the Slim Combo by Logitech, overall, good deal.